Yeah.
Because I connected with my phone and I'm seeing it here too. So who else can see my screen? Can I have thumbs up, please? Okay. So that should be from your end. All right, can we go back to our transform data? The reason why I asked everyone to open their Power BI, I dropped it in the chat box, is because this Power BI it sometimes take time before it will load. So, can we go back to our transform? Go back to our Power Query. So as you can see, this place is very familiar because we've gone through it in Excel. So it shouldn't be an issue. So we want to create another table. So we are going to our new source, then to your blank query. From new source, you are going to see blank query. Then you have something like this. So after creating your blank query, so we can just rename it as measures. Okay, no, let's just put something there. You can just write one, just like the way we did it in Excel, because you cannot have a blank table. All right. So go to this place, convert it to table. I converted it to table. So let's just change this to measures. You can change from here, and you can change from here too. All right. So let's change it to measures. It's giving me like we can't use it. So let's use that calculation. So I have my DAX calculations. So if I just change it to DAX calculations. So let's go back to our financial table. So we want to write some, I won't say code, but we just want to write some things that will sum up some of our columns here, like the total sales. So how do we get total sales? Total sales is also talking about revenue. All right. So for us to get our total sales, that means we have to multiply our sales price times our units sold. All right. So that's how we'll be able to get our total sales. And this is fundamental because it will give you your total revenue. And then another measures we have to look at too is our total unit sales. So we'll calculate this total units. All right. So this can actually be like our KPIs. So we can calculate our gross profit. All right. We can calculate our average sales price. We can calculate our profit per unit, then our total profits. So these are things we can calculate before we will now move to our dashboard. So that dashboard, that's when we now start doing sales by segment. Although Sao Kiki still touch the dashboard yesterday because I saw that it did units sold by month. It created a slicer for months. All right. So we'll be writing our measure. And if you have your book and Biro, you can just write this. Let me just call it code because this is where we are going. Let's transform it first. Let's close and apply rather. We've created the tax already. Sorry, close and apply. So you can see that our that's calculations has been created here. We can see it here. Now we want to start writing our measures. You can write your measure on your table view, or you can write it on your report view also. So let's just click on our DAX calculation so that every measures we'll be writing will be under DAX calculation. All right, because if we do not specify where the measures is going to, you can just see it scattered and you will be looking for it up and down. That I wrote total sales now. Where is it? I wrote this. Where is it? So let's just go to our DAX calculation. You can see that if you check my screen, it's actually the part for DAX calculation. So that means I've already clicked on it. So let's go to new measure. So going to new measure, it's either you call it total revenue or total sales, but let me call it total revenue. So how do we calculate total revenue? So we are using sum because normally adding mean we have multiplied on our it's two ways, Sha. I think we've multiplied it before we close and apply. Like you multiply your sales price and your unit sold, and there's another column for it. So that will just be like revenue. So by the time we want to do our total revenue here, you just write total revenue sum of the revenue that you've multiplied earlier. Because I don't know. So what I'm actually saying is that, for instance, okay, let me do this one first, then I will tell you how that works. Now, total revenue, how do we get total revenue? Total revenue equals to sum. I've clicked on my sum. Your table name. What's the table name? The table name is this financial table. You know, these ones are the one we created ourselves that we later merged together. Now, we are going to our financial table because that's the table name. It can be sales table, it can be, but this particular data is financial table. So, and we can see it here. So it's a very intelligent tool because it has even called it out. So your table name, sales price, because for you to get revenue normally, it is sales price times unit sold. All right. Sales price times unit sold. But because we've not multiplied it before, we will not be multiplying it here and then sum it. That's why this sum is coming up first. So now let's click on our sales price, then times your table name again. Okay, sure. It's actually supposed to bring your table name. All right. So I think I have to go the other way because it's supposed to give me this financial table. All right. Sales price. But since it's like this, let's just go back to our transform data. Seems I'm omitting something. So let's just go back to our transform data and add column. So I said to get the revenue, that's sales price times units sold. So you can go back to your add column, then your standard. When you see standard, you see add, multiply, subtract, divide. So let's just click on our multiply. When you click your multiply, you can see what is brought out. Enter a number by which to multiply its value in the column. We are not entering anything. The value is here. Let's just click on this drop down. So it said enter a value or use values in the column. You can see that where okay, let me go back. My unit sold is highlighted. Then I went to add column. After going to add column, I went to my standard, then multiply. After going to multiply, I click on this drop down, use values in a column. I don't have a business with this entire value. Use values in a column. Now use values in a column. What value are we using? What are we multiplying units sold with? We are multiplying units sold with sales price. So click on this drop down here and click on sales price. When we click on sales price, click OK. You will see that it has multiplied units sold times sales price. So if you have your calculator, you can confirm. So it has already multiplied this unit sold times sales price. So we have multiplication here. So we can just name it as revenue. This is revenue. So let's create another one too before we leave here. So we want to actually get the manufacturing cost. To get the manufacturing cost, that is a manufacturing price times unit sold. Manufacturing price times unit sold to get our manufacturing cost. So let's just highlight our manufacturing price, go through the way that way. Make sure you are under add column. So go through the same way, standard, multiply, then use values in a column. So I said manufacturing price times unit sold will give you manufacturing cost. So our unit sold is there already, so there's no need to change it. Let's click on OK. So this can just be manufacturing cost. Let's see if we still multiply something else. Okay, let's just close and apply now. And then with our measures. So I've created and I've closed and applied rather. So now let's write our DAS calculation. Let's click on our DAS. So I've clicked on my DAS calculations, then new measure. So now we want to calculate our total revenue. That is, it will sum up the revenue that we've calculated earlier. So to calculate that, so that would be sum equals to sum financial table revenue, because we've created a column for revenue area. So when we do this, now we have total revenue equals to, so then click on your enter. You can see that your total revenue is under that calculations. Let's click on our DAS calculation again. Let's create another new measure. We create this. Okay, the next thing we are creating now is total unit sold. How do we calculate total unit sold? So this is actually very essential for tracking volume. So we want to know what has been dispensed outside, what we've sold. So for your total units sold, so how do we do this? As sum So what's the table? The table is financial table and units sold, because want to solve it. Then click on your enter. Now we have our total units sold. The other time we created manufacturing costs. So we are going to create another new measure to know the total manufacturing cost. That is total. So we can just name it does cost. So it will not be too long. Total manufacturing cost equals to sum financial table manufacturing cost. Another thing we can look at again is our gross profit. How do we get our gross profit? That is total sales, which is the revenue. All right, I'm using revenue as revenue minus your total manufacturing cost. That's how we get our gross profit. So let's create another new measure. That is gross profit. Gross profit equals to our revenue. That is the total revenue we created. Sorry, I went to click on what I was speaking. Minus price. Total revenue minus total manufacturing cost, which is this. We've created it. We've created measure for total revenue, and we created measure for total manufacturing cost. That's why we can see it here. All right, let's click on enter. Now we have our gross profit because this is a financial data, all right, financial table. So all these are criteria, all right, they are necessary. So another measures we have to look at again is our average sales price. Click on your DAX calculation again, create new measure. Average, I'm using AVG, sales price. Average sales price equals to, so that's why I say you should hold your book and pen so you can just pen down that, okay, this is how we can calculate measures for this, calculate measures for this, and this. So calculate average so I have my average, then financial table, sales price. Yeah. That's our average sales price. Gross profit is different from total profit. All right. So we are calculating profit per unit. Also, we are creating measures for profit per unit. So how do we get profit per unit? Anyone with an idea should drop it on the chat box. Profit per unit. Okay, because of our time, profit per unit, that is all our table name, that is financial. Profit per unit. That should be total revenue. Total revenue or sales price. Okay, Shukura said gross profit over total units sold. Okay. Is this actually correct? Profit per unit. I'm trying to figure out profit per unit. All right, so I'm not sure of this, but let me just make use of it. So in case it's wrong, I can delete it from this side. Okay, gross profit over total units. So all right, it's correct. Thank you, Shukura. Shukura. Thank you, sir. So how do we now calculate our total profit? The total profit, which is also the net profit the company makes after deducting all expenses. All right. Total profit. So how do we calculate total profit? Is gross profit minus all other expenses. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Miss Muturayo, can see your screen clearly.
All right, sir. Okay, this is all right. Total profit. Who will bail us out? I don't
Chukura.
think. What of you?
I'm here to support. Please, Glory, don't bail us.
Okay, I want to check the table. So looking at this is actually the manufacturing cost that is the expenses. So to get that, that will be gross profit minus total manufacturing cost. Sorry, I don't mind the background noise. I'm seeing total revenue minus total expenses. People are raising their hands. Esther, do you have something to say?
Yes, ma. Can you hear me? Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening.
Um, uh, to just be sure, right? The formula we use in getting our gross profit was total revenue minus total manufacturing cost, right?
Yes.
So I think that should be our net profit because I
Gross
think
profit, total revenue minus total manufacturing cost.
yes,
Okay,
for
that should be our.
feel that should be our net profit. That's because manufacturing cost is all the expenses, so they sum it up and put them all in one column because there's no other column for expense anymore. And normally it's the revenue you get and you minus whatever expenses you've gotten. I don't know.
Okay, I think that's right. So total revenue minus manufacturing cost. Okay. That actually shows you guys are following. So that's total profit. Glory, I'm not seeing you less. So
Sorry, ma. Can I say something?
okay, go ahead.
Okay. That was why I asked the first question that if there are no other expenses apart from the manufacturing cost, so technically your gross profit is actually equivalent to one. We might want to assume that for our total profit, or like you say, but for net profit, gross profit is actually total revenue minus cost that relates you cost incurred in selling those products. Any other expenses, we call it the operating expenses, whether you sell the product or not, if you incur those costs, we call them OPEX, operating expenses. And that's where we'll now begin to think about net profit, where we'll now subtract the gross profit from operating expenses. But as it is now,
We
the
don't
only
have that
cost
one.
we have ahead, the only cost we have are costs that are directly related to this revenue. So technically, is the gross profit we have, and we can assume that for our total profit. But for net profit, no. You only get net profit when you subtract your gross profit from operating expenses. Expenses like salary, expenses like rent, whether you sell or not, you are going to incur those things. They are not related to production of or selling of those products. So we cannot talk about net profit as far as this data is concerned. That's my own humble submission.
All right, thank you so much. So Adiraba, the support, the
You're welcome.
supporter, supporting club, because you say you don't know what he's saying, but you supported. No problem. Seconded by me, I supported you too.
Chukura, this your submission is not humble. Oh.
All right. So what other things should we calculate again now that we have our total profit? Do you think we can do sales year to date here? Like basically, this is all we needed. We've gotten our total profit, total units sold, total revenue, total profit, total manufacturing cost, profit per. We can delete this column. It's not like there's anything in this. We delete from model. So let's save our work. Oh. If we check here, say last save today at 4:49 p.m. If this system goes off, I won't see this thing again. Yeah. I just you can see now today last saved today at 8:04. By the time I was working on a dashboard that was already done, I didn't save it. That was why I didn't see it again. Yes. To avoid story that touches the apps. All right. I've clicked on it. Wait, oh, sorry. I have to total profit there. So I changed this to this profit per unit times total unit. So and this one that I have here, I have total revenue. Let's see, I might even have the same thing. Let me check it on a report view. So it's the same thing. Do you see what I did there? So it's either you use if you check the formula I used for this, I use total profit per unit times total unit sold, or you use total revenue minus total manufacturing cost, and we still have the same thing. So let's just delete one. Okay, this is what I did there. So for those that is asking for if I've made mistake in deleting this, I'm having error message. Okay. So I'm trying to fix the error that is bringing out here. Okay. So what other measures are we supposed to create? Because after creating the measures, we are to do our dashboard. Sorry, NEPA just brought the lights. Sorry, please give me a few minutes to plug my stuff. Oh, NEPA is kidding. It's the light. Okay, I deleted my total um I deleted two measures, which is the total units, so profit per unit and the total profit. The reason why was that, I was deleting, I have total profits, two total profits. So I deleted one out of it. And one of those I deleted is I use it for part of the measure for the order. Like I'm supposed to delete one of the total profits. I have one with underscore, I have one without underscore. So the one with underscore was one I deleted, and it was I used that for um the profit per unit. It was linked together, so deleting one of it affected it. So they brought the light back. Oh, sorry, I'm back. But it took the light again. So let me just fix the error from my end. I'm supposed to do price per unit first. Mm. Okay, I'm back.
Nice profit per unit. Profit per unit.
Okay, yeah.
And we
Thank
need
you.
that profit first before we do it.
Yes, Esther, thank you.
Plug. This one I waiting. How many? As gift, you can hear you.
The total profit. How do we calculate our total profit? Because we've done it before.
Total revenue minus total manufacturing cost.
So after total, So that's calculation. New major. The price per unit, right? And profit per unit.
Miss Muturayo, well done. Well done.
Okay. So how do we calculate our profit per unit again?
Total profit divided by total units sold.
Okay, so we're talking about gross profit, right? Looking at it, gross profit is not needed. Looking at the data. Average sales price, you have profit per unit, total manufacturing cost, total profit, total revenue, total units sold. So the other time I was trying to check because we had two total profits. And I was trying to check if it will give us the same answer, and it gave us the same answer. I think one was we multiplied one, and then this total profit over total units sold. So what other measures should we look at again? I was thinking of looking at previous year's sales. But gross profit, how about we look at it like this? The revenue minus cost of goods sold. Oh God. And cost of goods sold is also total manufacturing cost. Cost of goods sold is also total manufacturing cost. All right. People that do not like mathematics and they want to do data analysis, let me share girl. But you think you will not do mathematics. Can you hear me? My phone got disconnected.
Loud and clear, Miss Muturayo.
Oh. My phone actually got disconnected, so that's why I'm. Alright, let's look at it like this. Gross profit. Let's calculate our gross profit. That is total sales. I think this is what we did the other time. And checking it on our report view, it still gave us the profit, right? Total sales minus total manufacturing cost.
Yeah.
Let me check it again here and see what it will give us. So the gross profit
Ms.
and
Moturayo,
the
Shukra is saying something in the chat box, and I think it's correct.
total. Sorry, please. My phone got disconnected. I have to connect back so that I can be able to see what you are saying.
Okay, hello, Moturaya.
I
I am
can hear you now.
okay. I'm saying that if your basically that's what it is. Your cost of goods sold is equivalent to your manufacturing cost. That's your total manufacturing cost.
Yes.
So technically, the total profit we computed is actually the gross profit. So it's actually the same formula that is involved. So the only difference is total profit, like we calculated, is total revenue minus total manufacturing costs. Your gross
Okay.
profit is your total revenue minus cost of goods sold, and your cost of goods sold is your total manufacturing cost. So technically,
Yeah.
they are based on the data that we have. So they are the same thing.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay,
Yeah.
now we have this already. So I'm trying to see if there's and this paper are not bringing like I have 6%. Very good. Somebody raising up and Chima. Can I have you please? Bethel, can I have you?
Oh, okay. Good evening. I don't know. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, ma. Please, ma. I wanted to ask a quick question. These measures we're calculating.
Okay.
Um, are we going to be given beforehand the measures to calculate, or we're just going to be given a data set and then we are the ones by ourselves to know what kind of measures to calculate?